across APAC, more travellers are actively choosing to go beyond major cities and well-known tourism centres. They're seeking out smaller towns, rural areas, and places that offer a stronger sense of connection to people and to place. And with this report, we've brought together platform data, independent traveller polling across 8 APAC countries, and real-world case studies that show how regional tourism is reshaping travel across the region. Drawing on insights from more than 7,000 travellers and highlighting 20 emerging destinations and 14 first-time tourism towns, the report explores 3 questions. What's driving this shift towards non-urban travel? Where is demand already emerging across the region? And what needs to be in place for destinations and communities to benefit from this growth in a sustainable way? And I'll step through those insights now, and we'll unpack what they mean in practice during the panel discussion shortly. So starting with the first question, what's actually driving this shift towards non-urban travel? Well, across Asia Pacific, 89% of travellers say they visited a non-urban destination for leisure in the past 12 months, and 91% say they plan to do so again in the year ahead. Now, that tells us that this isn't niche and it's not experimental. It's already mainstream. And what's also notable is who is driving this. Nearly half of these travellers are Gen Z or millennials, which matters because it suggests that this pattern isn't likely to reverse anytime soon. In fact, these are cohorts whose preferences tend to shape travel markets over the long term. The data also suggests that this goes beyond novelty. For many travellers, going beyond major cities reflects a conscious choice. It comes from a desire to travel differently, to slow down, and to experience places in a way that feels more personal and less crowded. And taken together, this points to a structural shift in demand. So regional and rural destinations are moving from consideration to intention in travellers' planning. That creates a real opportunity for destinations outside traditional hotspots if they're ready to respond. Now, when we look more closely at why travellers are choosing non-urban destinations, a clear pattern starts to emerge. At a basic level, the appeal is intuitive. I mean, nature and scenery, peace and relaxation are the most commonly cited motivations. And each of those were mentioned by just over half of our travellers. And these are the kinds of things and the kinds of experiences that are often harder to find in dense, highly visited urban environments. But the data also points to something more deliberate, and that is a significant majority of respondents, over 80%, say they actively avoid crowded or heavily visited destinations, and 83% place a high value on authentic community-based experiences. And again, that combination matters because it suggests that the shift isn't accidental or purely driven by factors like price. It reflects a conscious decision to travel differently. And for destinations, that's an important signal, of course. These preferences naturally favour places with a strong sense of local identity. Think smaller towns, rural areas, and communities where visitors can engage more directly with people and with places. In other words, tourism dispersal isn't just being driven by pressure in major cities. It's increasingly being pulled by demand for experiences that feel grounded, they feel personal, and they feel connected to local life. And of course, this helps to explain why we're now seeing demand emerge in some very specific places across the region.